Hello, friends. Today we are going to read chapters 5 and 6 of our book, Day of the Dragon King. I'm so excited to keep reading it with you. All right, here's chapter 5. Chapter 5 The Scholar. It's a book from our country, said Jack. Your books are made of bamboo, but ours are made of paper. Actually, your country invented paper, but later, in the future. The man looked confused. Never mind, said Annie. It's for reading. It's for learning about faraway places. The man stared at them. Tears filled his eyes. What's wrong? Annie asked softly. I love reading and learning, he said. So do I, said Jack. The man smiled. You don't understand. I am dressed as a farmer, but in truth, I am a scholar. What's a scholar? Said Annie. We are great readers, learners, and writers, he said. We have long been the most honored citizens in China. The scholar's smile faded. But now scholars are in danger, he said, and many of us have gone into hiding. Why? Said Jack. The Dragon King is afraid of the power of our books and learning, said the scholar. He wants people to think only what he wants them to think. Any day he may order the burning of the books. Annie gasped. Does that mean what I think it means? Said Jack. The scholar nodded. All the books in the Imperial Library will be burned, he said. That's rotten, said Annie. Indeed it is, the scholar said quietly. Listen, we have a mission to get a book from that library, said Jack. Who are you? Asked the scholar. Show him, said Annie. She reached into her shirt pocket as Jack reached into his sack. They brought out the secret library cards. The letters shimmered in the sunlight. The scholar's mouth dropped open again. You are master librarians, he said. I have never met one so honored who were so young. He bowed to show his respect. Thank you, said Jack and Annie. They bowed back to him. How can I help you? Asked the scholar. We need to go to the Imperial Library and find this book, said Jack. He held out Morgan's bamboo strip to the scholar. We will go to the Imperial Library, said the scholar. As for the story, I know it well. It is a true story, or it is a true one, written not long ago, but I warn you, we will be in great danger. We know, said Annie. The scholar smiled. I am happy to be doing something I believe in again, said the scholar. Let us go. They all climbed into the front of the cart. The long line of wall builders was marching in the distance. As the oxen started forward, the scholar turned to Jack and Annie. Where are you from? He asked. Frog Creek, Pennsylvania, said Annie. I have never heard of it, said the scholar. Do they have a library there? Oh, sure, there's a library in every town, said Jack. In fact, there are probably thousands of libraries in our country. And millions of books, said Annie, and no one burns them. Right, said Jack. Everyone gets to go to school to read, to learn to read them. The scholar stared at him and shook his head. It sounds like paradise, he said. Chapter 6 The Dragon King. The ox cart bumped across a wooden bridge that crossed over a moat. Then it passed guards standing by the wooden gates. Are the gates ever closed? Jack asked. Oh, yes, every day at sunset, said the scholar. When the gong sounds, the gates close. The bridge comes up and the city is shut for the night. I guess visitors have to leave before that happens, Annie said, or they'll be stuck here for the whole night, right? Yes, said the scholar. The cart bumped between the city gates. Rows of small houses were bunched together on either side of the street. They were made of mud with straw roofs. People cooked over outdoor fires. They washed their clothes in wooden tubs. As the ox cart bumped along, the houses got larger. These were made of painted wood and pottery tiles. They all had curved roofs. Why are the roofs like that? Asked Jack. To keep away the bad spirits, said the scholar. How do they do that? Said Annie. The spirits can only travel in straight lines, said the scholar. Wow, whispered Annie. The cart went by some open tea shops. Then it passed a large market square filled with stalls and shoppers. People were buying and selling fish, chickens, firewood, wagon wheels, silk cloth, furs, and jade jewelry. Some people were lined up at a stall filled with tiny cages. What's for sale there? Said Annie. Whoop. Crickets, the scholar said. They make good pets. You can feed them tea leaves and enjoy their delicate song. The cart moved on toward the Dragon King's walled palace. They stopped in front of the palace gates. Grain delivery, the scholar shouted up to the guard at the tower. The guard waved them through. Inside were beautiful gardens and huge mounds of earth surrounded by a low brick wall. That's the imperial burial grounds, said the scholar, pointing at the mounds. Who is buried there? Asked Jack. The ancestors of the Dragon King, said the scholar. What are ancestors? Annie said. They are the people in your family who lived before you, said the scholar. Someday the Dragon King himself will be buried there. 300,000 workers have been building his burial tomb. Oh man, said Jack. He looked over his shoulder at the burial grounds. He wondered why it took so many workers to build a tomb. No, said the scholar. Jack whirled around. What's wrong? He asked. The scholar pointed at the palace courtyard. A dark cloud of smoke was rising into the sky. Fire, said the scholar. The books, said Jack. Hurry, said Annie. The scholar snapped the reins. The oxen trotted up the stone path. When the cart rolled onto the courtyard, soldiers were everywhere. Some threw wood on a huge bonfire. Others were carrying bamboo strips down the steep stairs that led from the palace. Are those books? Asked Jack. Yes, the strips are tied together into different bundles, moaned the scholar. Each bundle is a book. Look, said Annie, pointing to the palace entrance. Stepping outside was a man in a rich, flowing robe and a tall hat. Jack knew him at once. The Dragon King. All right, friends, that is the end of chapters 5 and 6. We will have chapters 7 and 8 for you tomorrow. All right, talk to you later. Love and miss you. Bye.